Hey guys, what's up?
Hey, it's Dominique.
And it's Danielle, and we're back with another episode of Life Support.
Yeah, so today is our this one is a chill episode, and it's going to be on kind of catching up over what we did since coming back from uni, and also because we're going back into third year, starting third year, starting third year, I want to kind of have an overview as to how the last 2 years of uni have gone.
Yeah. Just sort of recap the last 2 years as we start off third year. Yeah.
And if you were with us for our last chill episode, we kind of talked about kind of books, movies we're reading. So movies we're reading, movies we're watching, TV shows we're watching.
You watch a movie.
Yeah. So we're gonna kind of catch up on that, and then maybe give you some reviews on what we've been doing.
Yeah, and see what else we're into right now.
Yeah.
So as always, be sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok if you want to stay up to date. And make sure to follow us on YouTube where we post video episodes. Be sure to and subscribe and comment how you feel about the episodes. And follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcast if you want to just listen.
Definitely leave your feedback. We want to get a feel for if you guys are enjoying it. I got some feedback for the last video when we put up. Yeah. People are liking it. I think we've kind of figured out a bit of a setup. So hopefully this sticks and we can kind of keep giving you some good content.
Yeah, it's been a lot better doing it in person now.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. Should we get stuck in?
Should we get started?
Perfect.
Right. So, I think we all would want to start with obviously where we said we were going to start last time.
Yes.
The Bear.
The Bear.
The Bear. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Right.
So you had watched it already, hadn't you?
So I hadn't started it when we talked about the first time, but then I immediately started it.
Okay. You binged it. How quickly did you watch it?
So the first season, it took about a week to get through them all. Yeah. But there's only there was only 6 episodes. It was a short season, but then the second episode I finished in 2 days.
Okay. Yeah.
Or the second season I finished in 2 days because I was into it.
I think I was quite similar. The first season was a bit slower, so I was kind of watching it bit by bit, and the second season was rapid. I was I'm done. So we should have a little system for how we rate movies and shows. Sort of give a little review at the end, and then we can keep the format the same. So we've got very impartial judgment of the shows. Okay, let's say characters, storyline, how it finished.
Okay.
We'll try not to do spoilers, although if we are going to spoil, we should probably just say spoiler alert.
Disclaimer it.
Yeah. Okay, spoiler alert, because we're probably going to end up
we're going to spoil it.
Yeah, we finished watching it. It's going to come out. But those will be our 3 main things, and then we can rate each one out of 10. So the overall rating will be out of 30.
Uh-huh.
And then that's a good way to...
Yeah.
And actually, I'll put it up on our socials as well. So if you're ever, you're studying, you need some downtime, you don't know what TV shows you want to watch, movies you want to catch up with, we'll have a little highlight reel on our Instagram, so you can always flick through those, see which ones we've watched, tuned into, how we've reviewed it and rated it, and if you like it, you can watch it as well.
And also, if you have any suggestions of things that you want us to watch and maybe review on the podcast, then be sure to leave them on the Instagram.
We're going to put up a poll.
Comment them,
Yeah, we'll put up a poll after today's episode, and then after every chill episode, we can do that, let us know what you want us to watch or even read. Okay, we can be nerdy people.
Yeah.
So, got my glasses on today, I'm feeling in the nerdy zone. But okay, sounds good.
All right, should we get into it?
So start with characters.
Yeah.
How do you find the characters on Bear?
I think every character was they were really individual.
Yeah.
And they were all really they were strong personalities.
Yeah.
Everybody had that definitive thing about them.
They stood out.
Yeah, they did.
Who's your favorite?
Tough
question.
Oh my god, why I've forgotten all their names. Why?
Okay, so we're gonna get the synopsis out for the show.
I remember it, but names are never my thing.
We can obviously crop this part out. Don't forget.
Richie, that's what I meant. Richie.
Oh, okay, cousin.
Yeah, cousin Richie.
Yeah. Yeah, why did you like him?
He was just cool. Spoiler, because when he went to the birthday party and he drugged all the kids.
I think that was one of my favorite scenes.
It was so good.
Not least because after he'd done it, and then the main character Bear was to the dad whose birthday party they were doing it for, he was we have drugged all the kids. And he was like, yeah, fuck it, it's fine. Which I just thought was hilarious.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was quite
good.
Yeah,
also, I feel like he had a lot of growth. In the first season, he was really, like, always fighting back, always disruptive. Yeah, he didn't really have, like, a definite role. Yeah. But then in the second season, there was so much growth with him. He went away. He sort of, like, learned how to be, like, a proper, like, waiter, server. Yeah. And he came back in, like, that, like, finale, and he really, like, you saw it, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like that was just part of his role in general, like, until you saw the end of it to see his character progression, you would have been like, what is the point of his character? But that was like his internal conflict as well. Like he was going through that, being like, I don't know where I fit. And you kind of got the sense from watching him in the show, like, you're like, where does he fit in this? It's like he didn't want to be there, but then he also was like, I'm here every day.
Yeah, so. He was literally like to them, don't replace me. Like, you're going to replace me.
Yeah.
Once, like, because that's why he was so against making it into like a proper restaurant.
Yeah.
Because he was like, I can't fit in that.
Yeah. Who was your least favourite character, do you think?
I didn't really like Sydney. I'm going to be honest. I did not like Sydney.
Really? No. I feel like I've heard a lot of people say this, like they don't like Sydney. And I'm like, I don't think she was that bad.
I thought she was okay, like, first season. And then second season, she just, like, sort of jumped to that leadership position for no reason.
But she was put there. He put her there. So I guess she had to, like, step up.
I guess, but...
Fair.
Yeah.
I really liked the guy that was the pastry chef.
Yeah, Marcus.
Marcus. I loved him. I love a character that's just so passionately into something, and you could tell he loved every single second of what he was doing, to the point that they were like, dude, like, we need to work, and he was still like filling donuts or something. And then like Bear at some point was like, if you're still on those bloody donuts.
To be fair, I got where he was coming from at that point. I was like, I would have been annoyed as well.
No, for sure. If I was like leading the team, I'm like, you need to hurry up. But I just loved how he got so carried away with it, and he was just so in love with it. And you were like, that's why you want to wake up every day and be like, I love the job I do. But yeah, it was, I love that. Least favorite character, I don't know. Like, I didn't think Sydney was that bad, so I'm probably not going to say her. I didn't like, is it Tina?
Tina, yeah. I didn't like her in the first season, but she grew on me. She really grew on me in the second season.
I didn't like her because I kind of felt like she was too mean to Sydney for no reason, besides the fact that she was young and like kind of came in. So it gave me that vibe of like, oh, you think you're the boss of me just because you went to some fancy cooking school, but actually I'm older, I've got more experience. And I was just sort of like, you're both like the only women in the team, like, you know, solidarity together, like, you know. But then towards the end, she was like proper like mumsy vibes, like she was looking after her. So I thought that was sweet. But like at the start, I was like, girl, be softer. Okay, so that's characters. So how are we rating them out of 10 overall?
I'd say like I'd probably give them like 8.5 probably, because they're all like fair. Most of them are really strong characters and they have like good progressions. They have really good
cast as well, to be
fair. They do,
yeah. Okay, next is a storyline. So there's going to be spoilers here. So we're going to tell you what happened. So basically, Guy has, Bear, the main character, he has inherited this restaurant, which was his brother's. And his brother had actually committed suicide. So trigger warning, very depressing stuff at the start. And he's like kind of just figuring out like why his brother had done that. He realized that he was addicted to drugs and that was part of his downfall. And he was in a lot of debt for the restaurant. And it was just going downhill. And then sort of into transitioning to the second season, he had this idea, like as part of paying back all the debt that he owed to their uncle. Was it their uncle, like a family friend?
Yeah.
They were gonna completely revamp the restaurant and kind of like make it sort of like a fine dining Michelin star vibe.
Because the brother had put all of the money. Because he took like a loan from the uncle. It's not his actual uncle, but it's like in Italian culture, it's like you call them uncle. But he had put it all in the tomato like sauce cans.
That was so mad. When he was like, I'm gonna make spaghetti. So they do this thing where each shift they'll make a meal for the whole team. So it's called like family, I guess. And he was like, I'm gonna make spaghetti, and he was gonna do like his family recipe spaghetti. So he got the cans of tomato out the bag and was like chucking it in, and realized like this plop of cash came out, and he was like, what the fuck? So he went through all of the other ones, and there was so much money. And they were like, okay, we could just pay off the debt, but still have this sinking ship, or we could like revive it and try and like make it one of the best places. Because he had also, the main character Bear, had trained at like the top of the top restaurants in the world. So he was like, I can do it, but I think it was a big task. And spoiler, they did it. They did. Remake.
And,
it kind of reminded me of Gordon Ramsay Kitchen Nightmares, but as a drama. Do you know what I mean? Like, he turns up at this restaurant which is like failing, it's crumbling apart, it's awful decor, none of the appliances work, they've got some shoddy handyman that does all the jobs. And then he completely like rips it all out, transforms it, and then they come back and do a service, and it just all goes so swimmingly.
It does, but he does end up getting locked in the freezer in the final season. The final finale.
That was so bad because
his girlfriend was outside the door, and he was...
So basically his girlfriend was a doctor, and she came for his opening night, and he was like, okay, Bear, the main character, he's the main head chef, and he was like, you know, busying around and being like, right, I'll catch you later, like, I'm gonna go into the kitchen and work. And his girlfriend was like, cool, with her friend, I'm gonna have dinner, like, cool, having fun. He goes into the fridge. He needed to get the fridge door fixed, but he didn't for some reason. I think he got distracted and was thinking about other things and completely forgot it. Went into the fridge and it shut and they couldn't open it, and he was freaking out. And I think he has quite a lot of like mental problems.
He has a lot of like really obvious like anxiety. He still has like lingering grief as well. It's really, that is something that they really explore in the show, grief,
which is really nice. Like it's refreshing because it's like, it's not even like grief of like a mum or elderly parent or grandparent or something where it's like, I know you have a different relationship to that person. It was like a brother, and they had quite a complex relationship, and it was a suicide as well.
Yeah.
Like all like the things where it's kind of taboo and maybe not spoken about, and it's like a male character dealing with his mental health and grief quite openly.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was quite refreshing to like watch that.
Yeah.
So I think the storyline,
there
was lots of depth to it.
There was, yeah.
But yeah, the girlfriend thing. So he was like dealing with his anxiety whilst locked in the freezer, and basically like exploded and was like, I don't think I can do a relationship, like I don't think I can handle it, it's gonna be too much distraction, blah blah blah. And then she had come into the kitchen to try and find him and realized he was in the fridge and heard all the conversation. She was crying and she was like, oh, okay, cool, and walked off. And yeah, it was pretty heartbreaking.
It was.
Yeah. Classic setup. You knew it was gonna happen when he was locked in the freezer, but yeah.
I thought the story was great.
Fair. How would you rate the story?
I would give it a 9.
9? Oh, nice. So we've got an 8 for the characters, 9 for the storyline.
What about you? Wait, what are you rating them?
I think the same so far. I'm in consensus. I thought very good storyline, great character development from kind of all of the characters.
Pretty much,
yeah. And then our last category, how have I already forgotten?
I can't remember.
It was 3 because it was out of 10. It was character, storyline, and ending. How it finished.
Yeah.
Cliffhangers and all that.
So, should we talk about the first season ending and then the second season ending?
Yeah.
Like, sort of how it like led into the second season.
Yeah. So you do first season.
Because like the first season, it was basically, it ended with them finding all the money.
Mm-hmm.
So like the previous episodes there was like a lot of chaos.
Yeah.
Like people ended up leaving. It was like it built really well into the final episodes.
Yeah.
Because like everything had calmed down for that. He was just like making like the pasta, like spaghetti, that he was really against, but he sort of like went back to sort of like his like family roots with that. And they ended up finding the money, which led very well into the second season, where they then used that money to turn it into more of a fine dining restaurant.
Yes. And like kind of rebrand their kind of their image, the outlook.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I don't know if there's going to be more. I haven't really looked into it. I don't know if they've just stopped it there and that's it.
No, I think there will be more, but obviously, I know you know about the like writer strikes happening all over Hollywood.
Yeah, so it's probably impacting a lot.
No, 100%. Like everything will be stopped right now.
So I basically thought the last episode we see them open up the new restaurant, and it's really good actually. You're like, oh, you're into it, and it kind of the emotions that you go through. I don't know if you've worked in hospitality before. Have you? Not like waiting or anything. No. So I worked last summer, was it? Yeah, so not this one, last year, in a members club. So it's kind of like fine dining restaurant, and I could really relate to that sense of like the adrenaline pumping when you start the service. Things get busy. You need to keep on top of orders, flying in and out, serving guests. But like you go from the chaos of the kitchen to like the quiet in the room, and it's like really like chill and serene. So like I could relate to that, and I feel like they did a good job of building that emotion up within you as you watch the show. But then I felt like the end was so anticlimactic, even though quite a lot of things happened. It was so like cool. And I'm like hoping, that's why I'm saying I'm hoping that there is a follow-up, because then there was also some like threads that hadn't quite been settled. So there was like relationship they have with their mum. The main character, his sister is pregnant. And just like, you've opened the restaurant and it seemed like a good night, but like, does that translate into them being able to pay off the debt that they're in still? Because one night service isn't going to give you... Do you know what I mean? So there's just that kind of...
No, yeah, I feel like they've definitely left
a
good point, because there are a lot of open ends that then they can explore in another season.
Exactly. But then it's kind of clever in a way if they wanted to just leave it there, that you feel like, oh, we go again, because that's pretty much hospitality life. Like, you can have an amazing service, best night of your lives, everyone's on a high, and then it's just like, cool, wrap it up. Tomorrow we do the whole thing again.
And I definitely think it ties into like the whole like sort of like overbranching sort of theme of the show, which is grief. Yeah. Because grief isn't just like, oh, you go through these steps and you're done.
Yeah.
No, you go back again. You get relapses of like, this is affecting me again. I feel like he still hasn't like fully resolved it. Like he was definitely on the path to it. He was going to like meetings. He was like sort of getting there. Yeah. But yeah, he's definitely gone back on it. And
hopefully the journey with the restaurant will be a similar thing. Like history, so there'll be ups and downs. Like, okay, they've had an amazing opening night. Maybe the intro into like a next season, if there is one, is like they've realized that they haven't made a lot of money and they need more bookings or something like that. But how would you rate it out of 10?
I'd probably give it about an 8.
I'd give it a 9.
Ooh, yeah.
I just think like there was so many.
I think it was really good and the way they explored it. Yeah.
Should we say 8.5 then?
Okay, 8.5. Yeah.
So 8.
No, we'll go 9. We'll go 9.
Okay, 9?
That's right.
Okay, cool. So 9, 9, and 8. Do you want to do the maths? I think it's 27.
8, 9, and 9, 26. 26 out of 30.
So close, my maths is horrible. So 26 out of 30.
Yeah, no, I think it's a really good
start.
No, I think it's one of the best shows that I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
Definitely. And also, the guy who plays Carmi's brother is Shane from The Walking Dead, and I'm a huge Walking Dead fan, so I just love that.
See, I knew I recognized his face from something, but I was like, what's he? He's been on a lot of stuff.
He's also the Punisher.
Okay.
And like Marvel, sort of like like Netflix TV shows. From Marvel.
Yeah. No, I think I've seen his face in a lot of things. So I saw his face and I was like, oh my goodness. Yeah. But yeah, okay, guys. So like I said, it's gonna be on a highlight reel. First show watched and reviewed by yours truly. 26 out of 30, very solid start, very high bar. We'll see what can top.
And be sure to leave more suggestions. Should we move on to the next segment that we're gonna do, where we're just gonna like recap the last 2 years? Yeah, pretty much.
Basically. So, how's third year treating you so far?
I mean, it's not been that bad. I don't think we're only 2 weeks in, and it's not been like anything like too demanding, like anything really extra. It's been like fine.
Sure.
I think
it's been a bit of a like figuring things out stage still, because we had like all the admin stuff and it was just like getting your timetable, your allocations, where are you for this, where are you for that, kind of still figuring myself out, and then like trying not to overcommit, because I feel like it's so easy at this stage to be like, I've got so much time free, let me like do this and that, and then have to drop it all. So I'm like trying so hard to just enjoy free time and not fill it with something, because otherwise I'll have to give it up later on. But how do you compare this year so far to like the last 2 years?
So going back to first year, coming straight in like that first week, I feel like it was a really big knowledge gap.
Right, fair.
Going from like nothing to like straight away, like going from like 0 to 100.
Yeah.
So like that was not a good start, but like then it relatively like just sort of stayed like, it started building on that.
Yeah.
Second year, I didn't think I enjoyed second year. I thought second year was like fun. The content was interesting.
Yeah.
Like and it wasn't too extrally demanding. And so far, I don't think this has been extra demanding either. It's sort of like just building on what we've already like set the foundations for.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think so. The way we get taught is like the first couple of years is all like the normal, so the normal working of the human body and things like that, and normal physiology, normal anatomy, communication skills, all that kind of stuff. And then third year is kind of the start of your like clinical years, but also understanding when things are abnormal. I don't think I felt as much of a knowledge jump from first year, but I think that's just having done an undergrad before.
Yeah.
It felt like I was just going back actually to like A-level like biology, chemistry, all that stuff. So it was kind of nice. It was good to like kind of recap the broad foundations of everything again and just be like, sure, I'm comfortable with like the main concepts. Second year again, I didn't find it, at the time I was like, this is a lot, but I didn't find it like ridiculous now looking back.
Yeah. I think that's what my problem with first year was, is that I didn't find it interesting. Right. I didn't really find the stuff we were covering like stuff that I personally was interested in. Yeah. But then when it came to second year, I was like finding the topics a lot more interesting. Like the gastro stuff was really interesting. The neuro stuff, like it was hard. Like there was a lot to it, but it was really interesting. So I wanted to learn it.
Yeah. Do you find that it's conceptually harder or like volume?
I think
difficulty for you.
For the neuro stuff, there was like sort of basic. It was like there's a lot of concepts to cover, and there was a lot of content to cover. Yeah. But it was all interesting stuff, so definitely. It was like I want to learn that. Pretty much.
I think that's the thing. A lot of it is volume. Like I feel like there's just so much. Yeah. That it feels overwhelming. But once you've sort of broken it all down, you're sort of like, oh, okay, this is doable. Yeah. I can manage. I can cope with this amount of stuff. So, yeah.
No, yeah, I'm definitely like coming off those first 2 years. I'm definitely still enjoying it. I'm still like not finding it that bad yet. Yeah. We'll see. We're only 2 weeks in. We will see if that lasts.
Yeah. Are you feeling like you're more of a medical student now?
Now that we're I'm trying to.
in a good sense, because I feel like it's that sense of belonging that there's so much hype around getting into medical school. Like, oh my god, you're gonna be a doctor, blah 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 blah. I did feel like for the first year, definitely a bit of second year, I didn't quite feel like I belonged in the 100%. Course. Like I had friends, but I didn't really feel like I had like a rhythm, a routine of like, you know, going and coming and stuff like that. Whereas this year I'm starting to feel a lot more like connected to like the institution of the medical school.
No, I definitely feel more like within that bubble of like medicine, like doctors, like healthcare professionals as a whole. Like I'm definitely feeling like I'm like in that like sort space. Of area. Yeah.
Do you feel ever do you ever do this thing where you look around in like small groups or in lectures and stuff and go, oh my goodness, we're all going to be doctors. These are all my peers. Like one day I'm going to be writing referral letters maybe to people being like, hi, can I see Dr. Ashraf about this? Like back and forwards, like back people
are going to like walk into a room and I'm going to be the person sitting there literally who's going to like talk to them, diagnose them.
I look in the mirror and I'm like, if I saw me and I walked into like GP surgery or hospital, I'd be
360 like, right away or 180 right back.
360
right back. 180 turn around, walk out the room.
I'd be like, oh hi, can I speak to the doctor? And I'll be like, I am the doctor. But okay. But talk about that. Good Doctor, The Good Doctor. Yeah, that's one. That's another good show. I think I'm watching on Sky.
I watched like the first 2 seasons, like when they first came out, and then like, I sort of lost. It wasn't that I lost interest, but I lost track of it, and then I didn't get back into it.
It's been really good for watching that progression of like coming from being at school level to like you're a doctor, you're making decisions, and now you're potentially going to be leading cases. Yeah. It's been nice to watch. I know it's a drama, but it's been nice to kind of watch because they're mirroring a lot of feelings I feel at the moment, like being like not capable, like imposter syndrome and all that stuff. And I'm like, okay, they feel like that, and they've already graduated. Yeah. I feel like that now, so it's just something that. I guess all levels.
Yeah, I think at some point, like everybody faces it pretty much.
Yeah, our experiences. Yeah. How did you find like your social commitments for first and second year compared to like third year?
You know, it's not too bad. I'm like continuing stuff that like I done in first and second year. Yeah. And like it's sort of like I'm still at the same level pretty much of like social commitments, like seeing people, you know, doing some sports, doing some like extracurricular activities, doing like all that. Yeah. So like I sort of like I've not had any like issues like having to cut back or anything.
Fair.
What about you?
I feel like I overcommit so much. That's probably like one of those. What's one of your biggest weaknesses? And I'm like, I just want to get involved with everything, and then I have to pull back. Yeah, I want to try lots of different things, and a part of trying lots of different things is like the commitment to those things, and I don't think I have enough time to do everything. So I really had to take this year to be like, what am I actually interested in? What am I actually going to commit to? There's no point saying I'm going to try water polo, because when it comes to it, if I'm having a really crappy day, it's raining outside, I just want to be at home, I'm not going to be motivated to go and jump into a pool and run around. Do you know what I mean? Like, whereas I could be committed to like, what can I be committed to? I could be committed to being the financial editor for Circle. Or, you know, just things where it's more of a social chill within the time. Social sports as well. So I do want to get into football, tennis as well when the weather's good. So like things where I know I already would do naturally and it wouldn't be going out of my way. Yeah. And also going to the gym. Like we've been keeping up going to the gym. So I feel like that's something I can maintain. But I'm definitely big on that, not wanting to overcommit, because my fear is just, I don't want to say no to people. I find it really hard to actually. So I don't want to like promise the world to people and be like, yeah, I'm going to do this and that. And then end up disappointing people. So yeah, I think.
So like overall consensus about like the first 2 years?
We're going to rate it like the TV shows. I'd say first year I'd give like 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I would probably say about 6, but I guess you haven't done a degree, like maybe it wasn't as like hard of a jump.
It wasn't a big adjustment, I think, which was good. And it was still kind of like COVID time as well, so it was adjustment in that sense, but it was coming out of it. So it was like, second year I'd probably give about, I'd give second year the same. I don't think that it was anything greater or less than first year. Content was different. There was some good and there's some bad. So there was a lot more volume, but at the same time I felt a bit more connected with people, so I was like growing in the social aspect of the course. So far for third year, I would already rate third year at 7 starting, so it has potential to grow, but it also has potential to be a catastrophe.
I'd probably say second year's a 7 for me. Yeah. And then third year, probably right now is a 7, but we shall see.
We shall see. What are you looking forward to the most in third year?
I'm not just looking forward to getting out there finally. Like getting to hospitals, getting to GPs. Yeah. Having to like the opportunity to actually do the thing that we're doing. I am looking forward socially to our halfway ball. There's a split between your clinical years and your preclinical years. We're just doing the last part of our preclinical years. And then in February onwards, it'll be the clinical year. So we have a ball, and I'm super excited for that. I think that'll be a really good time to like connect with our year group as a whole. Before like we all go off to different places.
Exactly. And then academically speaking, like you, I want to get more experience being on the wards. I'm looking forward to my elective. I know I have to plan it, and there's so much planning around that. But I am actually looking forward to having that exposure to like clinic and just, you know, being kind of treated as more of a peer and not like, you know, this little kid that's looking in like, what are you anxious about?
I don't know. I feel like the past years have been like, third year's like a lot. So I'm a little bit like just in the back of my mind, like, is this going to get a lot worse as it goes along? Yeah. But apart from that, like, it's nothing like, I feel like medical students do like, we make it scarier than it actually is. Yeah, 100%.
This is the same thing we said in one of the episodes. Like getting into medical school is the hardest thing. I think every level, everyone says it's hard. Because I remember someone said second year is really hard. We got through second year. Yeah, and I was like, that was all right. So I think it'll be everything put into perspective.
It's like hard, but it's not like anything exceptionally. It's like what you expect. You expect it to be hard.
I think let's think about all the thousands of students that have passed before. Like doing the same process, whatever.
Hopefully we'll be there next.
And if we haven't, you'll have another season of us going through third year again. Amazing. So thanks for listening to us ramble on about our TV shows, books, and third year life. Yep. We're going to have another chill episode coming up soon, and we may or may not throw in a little cheeky guest into that one.
Oh, we might, And be sure to leave TV, movie, book recommendations, and we will get, if we do have a guest, we will get them to
chip in on it as well. And we might even torture them with a hot seat or a game or two. We'll see.
We'll see.
We don't want to get you guys too excited yet. We'll see.
Yeah.
But follow us on socials as well, and make sure to leave a review on this episode.
Yep. So thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye.